2-4. Multiply real numbers. Nobody knows how to multiply, so we gotta go over it. Right? Okay. So let's talk quickly about these properties. Commutative. And since we're doing multiplication, I'm not going to write it up there. A times B is the same as B times A. It means order. We're changing the order of something. Okay? Now, associative. We say A times B times C. That's the same thing as A times B times C. The order did not change, did it? A, B, C, A, B, C. But the grouping symbols moved. All right? That's how you can remember those. Now, just because you see parentheses, do not immediately think associative. You need to make sure, if you're going to say associative, that the orders stayed the same. All right? Because they may give you something like this. Let's do addition. A plus B plus C. And they do this. A plus C plus B. That's a commutative property. So just because you see parentheses, don't automatically assume it's associative. You must look at the order. Okay? Identity and the zero property, anything times 0 is 0, anything times 1 is itself. Okay, you can look at those in your book. You've had those multiple years in a row now. Example 1. -4 times 7 is, everybody raise your hand if you know the answer. Ouch. -4 times 7. -28. The purpose of that was to make sure that you understand your signs. Negative times a negative, positive times a positive. That's positive. Negative times a positive, positive times a negative. It's negative. That does not apply to addition and subtraction. It does apply to division. Fractions. It's the same thing. Alright? Some of you here didn't know that. So, apply that to fractions. Example 2, -9 times -10, just to make sure. What do we get, Brody?
90.
Positive 90. Good. Let's just rip through these real quickly. Example 3, -5, 6 times -12 times -4. First thing I want to know is it positive or negative and how you know it. Nate?
It's going to be in.
How do you know?
Because if you just do 2 times each other, 5, 6, and 12, just the signs are the same, so it's going to be negative, or positive, and then the positive times the negative is going to be.
That's right. Negative times a negative is a positive, then times a negative gives you a negative again. All right, now figure it out. My answer is negative, according to Nate. No.
-40.
-40. Good. All right. Example 4. Example 4. -2/5 times 0. Everybody? What's the property? Really? Identity means yourself. Think of it that way.
That's not right anyway.
Property of 0, or 0 property. All right. Example 5. -2. Oops. -2 times 5 in parentheses equal to times 4. Screw this up. Equals -2 times 5 times 4. What property?
Associative.
Associative. The order stayed the same. 2, 5, 4, 2, 5, 4. The grouping symbols moved. Okay? Associative property of multiplication. Example 6. AB in parentheses times CD in parentheses equals BA times CD. Fine.
Commutative property of multiplication.
Yep, the only thing that changed is the order. Okay? Why do we care? The point is this. Knowing your properties, not the actual vocabulary words, but understanding that you can do this helps you manipulate more difficult problems into being easier problems you can do. Alright? So there is a reason why we do this. And it's a good reason. It helps you go faster through your problems, helps you simplify things and manipulate things. Alright, example 7. -1/5 times -10 times 4 times -5c. Now, I want you to simplify that and then justify what you did, if you used a property or not. You done? I don't know what to do. Let me do this for you. Now what? Yes, you can do that. I was trying to get you to say something else. What?
Should I tell you how I solved it?
Yes.
-1/5 times -10 is 2. And then I took that times 4 times -5c. And I took 8 times -5c, which equals -40c.
Okay. That's why I should have done this. Don't do that. I should have written that down instead. The point was to get you to see that -1/5 times -5 cancel, reduce. They reduce each other, right? That was the point. Huh?
Can you do that though? If I was to time all the top things.
Yes, you can do exactly what you're saying. But the point was to use these properties that we've been talking about to make things easier. If this is all multiplication, I can change the order and I can take 1/5 times 5. That's the point. Because eventually, you're not going to have numbers. I'm going to stick nothing but letters up here. And you won't be able to do what you're asking. You'll have to look at this and say, what can I do to change how this looks to simplify it? Got it? That's why it's important to learn your properties. All right. Last one, example 8. -6r times -2.8r. Now, I know what you're doing. Everybody's taking -6 times -2.8, right? Aren't you? And taking r times r?
Yeah.
Okay. The point is, can't do that unless you understand that you can rearrange the order. That's the whole point of this problem. You guys have been doing this all along and not necessarily thinking about the fact that there is a math property that allows you to do that. And again, at some point in time, you're not going to have any numbers, and you're going to need to be able to think about manipulating and changing things, either grouping symbols or the order of stuff, okay? So, make sure you understand that you can change the order of multiplication and addition. And I wouldn't expect you to write this stuff down like this, step by step. But you need to be thinking of what it is, why it is you're doing what you're doing. For future purposes, it will make your life easier, okay? Alright, so whatever that is, 12 and 48, what is that, 16.8?
Yeah.
Okay. Assignment. Page 91, 4 to 42, evens. 54, and mixture here. Evens. Does that make you feel better? That's not what it says online, but now I'm going to hand back your homework from yesterday, put your new assignment in, and then we'll see what they have at the end of that.